this is the thing about Survivor. If you break it down, and people have different opinions to this according to what I've watched on Survivor, but there's only one way to play the game, and that's to play the game. Like, you have to. The dude that won, his name's Tony.
You heard it here first.
He's like,
the goal is to win.
Lie, cheat, and steal. He's like, these are like, you have to do those things. So, because playing the game is a big part of playing the game, as dumb as that sounds, you know what I mean? Like, you're not there to have open conversations. That's not the solution to the game, right? You're there to be sneaky and talk shit about people behind their backs and do all this crazy stuff, turn people against each other. That's the only way you can win, because it's all peer voting, right? You get voted off by other people.
I was going to say, I haven't seen it in a really, really long time, but that's what you need to do, right? Alliances and get
yeah.
people, okay.
So it's all peer voting. So there's that part. You have to stay on. And then the other two parts of it are, besides like the relationship aspect of it, are challenges. So there's reward challenges and immunity challenges. And they're all a mix of like physical and mental challenges. A lot of them are, you have to do this like obstacle course or swim through this thing and like untie all these buoys or whatever. And then once you get them all, you get a key, and then you take that key to unlock something, and then you have to do a puzzle to finish it, right? So it's all like physical and mental based challenges.
It sounds exhausting.
Yeah. So it's that. So you have immunity challenges, reward challenges, and then you have the social aspect of the game. I think that I could do the challenge well.
I don't think you could do the puzzles, but
see, they're not like, it's not like a 1,000-piece puzzle that
it's
you dump
like
out on a table.
It's like
a lot of them are like
matching and things.
it's like
like
the star shape.
Well, a lot of them are like a lot of them are like
exactly right.
They'll be like a staircase, but the planks for the stairs aren't there. You have, say it's like 12 stairs. You have them all, but each like you have to put them in a specific spot. Like the stairs, like where the stair platform will have like 3 prongs on one and 4 on the other, and the bottom of the stairs will have that, and they fit there, right? It's stuff like that, like just being quick and being able to figure that stuff out fast. I think you combine that with the different physical elements of the sport, of the challenges. A lot of them are like swimming, and a lot of them are balance based too, and I have very good balance, and that with the social aspect of the game. And then the very last thing you have to consider is there's immunity idols hidden around camp throughout clues, and the clues come, and the people that play it drive me crazy, because every time they get a reward, like big rewards are supposed to be associated with clues. So when you get a reward, like everybody's like, oh, we want the food or the blankets or whatever that earn the reward. But at like the bottom of the reward basket will be like a little like piece of paper with a clue to where an immunity idol is, and nobody looks for them except for fucking Tony did when I was watching the show. So I think that I could go on Survivor and I could win Survivor. The biggest thing to me would be I would have to, because I've never tried this before, but try to control the way that I eat more, because I eat a ton of food, and that's a big thing on Survivor is they have like rice to start. And then if they catch fish, they can eat fish. And other than that, there's one time they catch a chicken. And outside of reward challenges, like you don't really get food. So you're going 36 days with minimal food. And I think that some people are like, yeah, that makes it hard to do the challenges. I get that. I still think that you could do the challenges as long as you had a teeny bit to eat. My biggest thing would be being able to sit there and not want to quit because I'd be so hungry.
And that's exactly what would happen, because when you get hungry, Matthew, you get very angry and irritable. So there goes,
yeah. So
there goes the social aspect of the game.
No, I disagree.
No, 100%.
I could play you like a fiddle right now. You wouldn't even know.
Because you're fully fed. You probably had like 4 cheeseburgers already today.
What did I eat today? No, I had 1 turkey sandwich, and that was at 12:30.
That's still a lot more than you're going to get on Survivor.
It's not rice.
No, it's not rice. But rice fills you up, a couple spoonfuls. And also, they never try to. They one, rarely ever try, and 2, are rarely ever successful at catching fish. Like, how do you not dedicate the majority of your time at that point to going out and catching fish? They have canoes.
Well, you got to do a lot of other stuff too. You got to make sure the shelter's all right. You got to talk to other people while you're out fishing all day. Rufus and Jamie are all.
Well, you don't go fishing solo. They're
two-person
2-person canoes. Hey, anybody want to fish? You know what I mean? And then, so even if you're out fishing think about this. You're there for 36 days. You do 36 challenges. Outside of that, no, not even 36 challenges. You don't do a challenge every day, and you don't have tribal council, which is where you get voted off every day. So outside, there is plenty of downtime to be having conversations. I guarantee it, because you're probably at max sleeping 3 hours a night. I mean, you're in the jungle or whatever. Like
Bugs.
You're not getting good sleep. Yeah, but that's another thing. Reward challenges still have like bug nets. Like bang, I'm all over that.
Right.
You have to be all in on stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that I could win Survivor.
I think you could do all right on Survivor, I guess, with all that. But I mean, I think the food thing is what would get you in that.
Well, that's why
you'd want to go home.
I've never tried it. I would have to try it.
Right, practice fasting for a little while. I want to come up with the challenges because that stair challenge. Because they've been doing it. How many seasons you say they had now? Like 20,
30 at least.
like 30 seasons or something.
They do 2 a year apparently.
That stair challenge that you mentioned sounds like you're really scraping the bottom of the barrel there. Like
those are just
running
yeah,
out
no,
of
that's
ideas.
not.
but that's not a challenge.
Oh,
That's
you
the
just came up with that?
No, that's like the last step to a challenge.
Right.
That's like how you get up to the puzzle or whatever. Because then there'll be like one of those things where you got to move stuff around to make the Survivor logo or shit like that.
Yeah.
But it starts with like, I don't know. They're all different.
It's got to be fun to come up with those challenges, though. A lot of
You can make. There's one where it's a pole, and the pole's like 20 feet high. It's 20 feet off the water, I should say, and you're out in the water, and the platform on top of the pole is like the size of a bar stool, if that. It's very small, and you have to stand up there and balance on it, and you have a bucket on a string. So you drop the bucket down into the water, you pull the bucket up without trying to spill as like the least amount of water as possible. And then about 4 feet down from where you're standing on the pole is like a piece of PVC pipe. And you have to try to pour that water from the bucket into the PVC pipe. And as the water fills up the pipe, a key will rise to the top of the pole. So then you have to get the key to rise all the way up, grab the key, jump in the water, swim in, unlock your puzzle pieces, do your puzzle.
See, that just sounds ridiculous.
It's
This all sounds
pretty
like
elaborate,
that Mousetrap board game.
Oh my god, I remember that.
And
But I would be good at that if it was real life too.
But you wouldn't have a turkey sandwich.
But you wouldn't have a turkey sandwich.
Just
It'd be all rice.
But also, Outback is an official sponsor of Survivor apparently, and there's like one of the reward
the Bloomin' Onions challenge.
One of the reward challenges, you get to go to like a makeshift Outback, and they give you the whole 9.
Jungle Outback.
Yeah. There's also one where they give everybody $500 cash, and they bid on stuff. So they'll pull like things up, and it'll be like a rack of ribs or like all this stuff. But then the very last thing that they do is like a clue to an immunity idol or something. So people want to spend all their money on food, and then some people will sit there and starve and watch. Like the one dude was eating a full rack of ribs with a cold beer after being on this island for 30 days.
Wow.
And a dude sitting next to him doesn't spend $1, so he can spend all $500 to bid on this potential clue.
That's what you got to do to survive.
That's what I
You
mean.
got to make the sacrifices. Because you can buy a lot of ribs with $1 million.
And more than anything, though, you don't even have to be good at challenges later in the game. Because at first you're usually in 2 teams, right? So you have to be good at challenges then, because if your team wins the challenge, then the other team has to go to tribal council, not your team. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And you don't want to be the one that fucks over your team on a challenge. But
Right.
later in the game, if you can get people to like you, you don't have to win challenges because they won't vote you off. But if you do win challenges, then you have the immunity necklace for that specific tribal council. Sorry, I know I was long-winded on Survivor.
That's a lot
but
of Survivor
I really think
talk.
I could win. I really think I could win.